Merry Christmas and welcome to this special Christmas family lesson. While we might not be having worship or anything today, I wanted to read for you one of my favorite stories from the season of Christmas called Follow the Star. Now, Follow the Star follows the journey of this small baby camel and the three wise men. Now, we actually celebrate the visit of the three wise men on a Sunday that we call Epiphany, or on the 12th day of Christmas. And we will be celebrating Epiphany next year on January 6th. That's 12 days after Jesus' birth. Because it took some time for the wise men to go and find Jesus as they were following the star. But before we read it, I just wanted to say once again that I hope you are having a Merry Christmas. I hope that you are finding the joy and love and hope that comes from this season, even if this may be a difficult season for you. And if you find yourself feeling a little blue or a little down, know that I and all of us here at Advent love you. And know that above all else, you and every single one of us are called, claimed, and named beloved child of God. Merry Christmas to you and your family and friends, and may you enjoy Follow the Star. Small Camel was the newest camel in Balthazar's corral. His feet were too big for his skinny legs. He had a very small hump, but he had big, beautiful eyes and long eyelashes. "I love you," whispered his mama. "You will grow up to be strong. You will carry heavy loads to faraway places. Balthazar will be proud of you." Balthazar was a wise and wealthy man. He traveled far with his camels. He watched the stars and wrote on long scrolls. The scrolls were covered with important lines and words. "What do the lines and words mean?" Small Camel asked. Mama shook her head. "Balthazar knows," she said. One evening, as the sun began to set, a bright star appeared on the horizon. Balthazar gathered his servants. "This is the great star I have been waiting so long to see," he told them. "We must prepare for a journey. Groom the camels, pack enough food and clothing for many weeks of travel across the desert." Small Camel watched the servants brush the furry coats of the big camels and put blankets on their backs. The saddle that Balthazar would ride was placed on Mama's hump. Many bundles were tied onto other camels. Small Camel knew he was too small to carry so much. He would have to stay home. His stomach ached, and he started to cry. He snuggled close to his mother. "I don't want you to go, Mama," he said, sniffling. "When will you come back?" Just then, Balthazar came out of his house, dressed in fine traveling clothes. He carried a small bundle and a rope halter. "These are for you, Small Camel," he said. "I don't want you to miss this important journey. I think you are big enough to carry one special package." Balthazar put the halter around the small camel's head. He put a beautiful blanket over his hump. He tied the bundle in place. Small Camel was so excited he could hardly stand still. Where are they going? What was he carrying? After sunset, Balthazar and his caravan headed out into the desert. They would travel at night after the hot sun had gone down. Balthazar rode high on Mama's hump, and Small Camel walked close behind. Ahead, the star shone brightly. The next morning, Balthazar stopped in a small town where the camels were unloaded. There he met two friends, Melchior and Gaspar. The three men got out their scrolls and huddled together. Small Camel could hear them talking about the beautiful star and something else. A baby king! In the evening, the camels were loaded again. Two more packages, one from Melchior and one from Gaspar, were added to the Small Camel's hump. Now he was carrying 3 special bundles. The load was heavier, but it felt just right. What could be in these bundles? Small Camel wondered. Night after night, Small Camel and his mother walked and walked. Each morning, as the sun was rising, the travelers set up their tents. Balthazar, Melchior, and Gaspar checked their scrolls and marked where the bright star was. The servants prepared food for the travelers. Fresh water and grass were brought for the camels, and everyone rested. Camels can walk for a very long time, even without water. But Small Camel was very young. They had been traveling for months, and he lost count of the days and nights. "Are we there yet, Mama?" he asked. "My feet hurt. When will we find the baby king?" "I don't know how long the trip will be," said Mama, "but I know Balthazar will take good care of us. We can always trust him." Small Camel felt a little better, but his feet still hurt, and he wanted to be at home, resting on fresh straw in his own corner of the corral. At last, one day at dawn, the caravan came over a hill. Balthazar stopped. The star was shining directly above a village just ahead. "This is the place," he told the weary group. "This is where we will find the baby king." "Where is the palace?" said Mama. Small Camel asked. "Balthazar will find it," Mama replied. Balthazar led the caravan through the streets of the town. They followed the light of the star until they could see it shining over a very small house. "Oh, Mama, there must be a mistake," said Small Camel. "This is a poor man's house. Surely a king wouldn't live here." Outside, a carpenter named Joseph worked at his bench. He put down his tools and invited the travelers into the courtyard. Balthazar gently pulled on Small Camel's halter. "Come with me," he said. Inside the courtyard sat a young woman named Mary. In her arms she held a beautiful child, little Jesus. Small Camel dropped to his knees as he had been trained. Balthazar spread the blanket on the ground and put the bundles on it. And what was in those bundles? Small Camel had been carrying presents for Jesus. Melchior unwrapped a chest filled with shining gold. Balthazar's gift was a pot of spicy frankincense. Gaspar set out a tall jar of sweet-smelling myrrh. Mary bounced the baby on her lap. He smiled when he saw the presents. He giggled and clapped his hands at the little camel kneeling before him. Small Camel forgot how tired he was. He forgot how much his feet hurt. He forgot the long months walking across the sand. He didn't know why the house was not a palace. He didn't know why the baby wasn't wearing a crown. But Small Camel knew this baby was a king. At last it was time to go. Everyone, even the camels, gathered around Joseph, Mary, and little Jesus. The baby smiled and cooed. His sweet laughter filled the weary travelers with peace. "I am proud of you," Balthazar whispered to Small Camel. "You have done a very good job carrying those precious gifts." Small Camel had never been so happy. Small Camel grew tall and strong, just as his mother knew he would. He traveled often with Balthazar. Together they visited many wonderful places and had wonderful times. But none of the trips was as special to Small Camel as the first trip across the desert, where he carried the presents for baby Jesus.